Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy the Chief, aka the Chef, aka Mr. Potato Head, bringing you a brand new episode of Brawl Stars, where inside of today's video, we're going to be checking out the newest brawler to release inside of Brawl Stars called Mr. P, which some people are calling Mr. Pat. That's right, we're going to be checking out the newest brawler, and guys, Mr. P already looks so much fun to play. I'm going to make a prediction and say that he's going to be OP when he releases inside of the game. Let's go and check out every single thing that Mr. P has to offer, and hopefully have a killer video. Now, starting off, let's just go over Mr. P's base stats. You can see that for Mr. P, he's an angry, disgruntled luggage handler who hurls his suitcases at his opponents, and his super calls Robo's porters to help him out. He's a very angry penguin who means business, judging by his unibrow. And also checking out his additional skin, we've got Asian P, who honestly looks really cool. You've got the sort of Men in Black style going on with that suitcase going ham. But anyways, basically with Mr. P, you're going to be throwing your briefcases, and as soon as your briefcase ends up hitting an opponent, it's going to bounce in the air and then smash the ground, doing area of effect damage, damaging multiple opponents around it. Now, what's really cool about Mr. P is that with his very first star power, called Handle with Care, even if he doesn't hit his opponents, when he throws his suitcase at the end of its run or whenever it hits a wall, it's going to go ahead and do the bounce and do a bunch of damage. This one is ridiculously OP. His second one is called Tin Can, where his little home base for his super has an extra 3000 HP. Basically, his super ends up dropping a turret similar to a Jessie, but rather than having it do any damage, it spawns little mini penguins out of it that attack people from range. Okay, let's just check out Mr. P so I can show you guys exactly what we're talking about right here and why he is just so ridiculously strong and annoying to deal with. First, you've got your penguin toss, or your briefcase tossing like I talked about. You're gonna throw it out, it's gonna jump, and then it's gonna end up smacking the ground. Now, if you have the first star power that I talked about, not only can you do that, but when you throw it at something like a wall, it'll hop over the wall and do damage to people. That is just absurd how strong that's gonna be inside of the game, and it's safe to say it's pretty broken. Not only that, you can just throw it out, and even if you don't connect, it's gonna do its big jump. But guys, the area of effect damage from this is significant, because if you go into a group of people, your first shot is only gonna affect one target, but once it jumps, it's gonna splash down on multiple targets at the same exact time, which is really good. If you get clumps of opponents, you can hit like up to 3 of these things at once, 4 of those things at once with a big blow, and overall it's pretty strong. Now for Mr. P's super, it throws down a turret. You're gonna wanna spawn this at like the very back of the map, but basically you throw this thing down and it's gonna spawn mini ranged penguins that end up attacking your opponents, and if your little penguins end up being killed, it's gonna respawn a new one right at this turret. Now, this makes it to where whenever you're playing something like Gem Grab, throw your turret in the back left corner, like right here, and just let your penguins continually spawn out throughout the entire game, and it's safe to say that your opponents are gonna get really, really annoyed. Okay, Mr. P already just seems so ridiculously strong. I don't want to try out the other turret thing, by the way. That 3000 HP on the main turret is not really that useful in my eyes, but let's go and get into a couple of matches using Mr. P and his new skin right now and see how OP he actually is. So for our very first match, we're going to be hopping into a nice little set of Bounty right here. Bounty has a fixed amount of time, so this will give us some time to get our supers and start going ham against our opponents. And check this out. Throwing my briefcase, it'll bounce over the wall and hit a Daryl, and honestly, this is just shaping up to be a totally ridiculous brawler to play inside of the game. Now that I have my super, which by the way is really easy to get lined up, I'm going to go ahead and throw it in the very back, and now I've got little mini penguins spawning for the rest of the game, and it's safe to say that my opponents are going to be pretty annoyed. Now already I'm slamming people down with ridiculous shots over and over and over again. Super's going to go ahead and spawn another little penguin, which is going to charge its way onto the battlefield. But guys, Mr. P is just another brawler from range that's going to be so annoying to deal with, and with your opponents always having to waste shots against your little mini penguins, it's going to be super frustrating. I really feel like Supercell should make it to where your turret can only spawn like a few of these before you have to drop another one, because currently you're literally just going to be getting mini penguins all game long. But already guys, Mr. P has so much range, especially with that hop at the very first part of his auto attack, to where your opponents are not really going to have a very good time. All right, moving on. I can, again, look how far away I can shoot from. I can shoot from here and plop all the way across the wall with my briefcase, just going ham. The only thing you can say that's a little bit weak about Mr. P's kit is the fact that his health isn't out of control, as well as his damage isn't anything too crazy at 980 damage per shot, so just keep that in mind. But otherwise, Mr. P has literally everything else that you'd want from a brawler. Really unique and fun kit, by the way. He isn't one of those boring brawlers to play, which is literally just roll your face on your device over and over and over again. But guys, especially with this star power, Mr. P becomes really good. I feel like without the star power, it might be a little bit more difficult to play someone like Mr. P just due to the unguaranteed damage, but getting the splash damage on each and every shot is so critical. And guys, my mini penguins continually going ham. I can't tell you guys how annoying that's going to be inside of the actual live game. Never being able to heal because of these little penguins going ham is going to be really redonkulous. GG, well played. Let's get into some solo showdown. Hopping into a bit of treasure hunt. I'm hoping I can show you the true power of Mr. P here. Now, fortunately, with your attack, you're able to really be able to stack up your shots. The one thing is that, yeah, I mean, you're going to be able to splat all over people. It's going to be difficult against really strong opponents or smart opponents to be able to hit both of your shots. You can see when Frank runs towards me, I can't get the double trouble on what I'm doing. Let's go and spawn our penguins, though, and you can see how walls can be used to your advantage as Mr. P to where you can have a pretty good time. Even with Frank running away, just exploding briefcases are going to do so much work. Really fast projectile speed on every single one of Mr. P's attacks is going to make it to be a super frustrating brawler to play against. All right, little mini penguin is already doing work. Splashing on top of this dynamite is going to be an easy dub. It's almost like we're roller skating inside of this one. Throwing down another super literally for no reason just to get a faster penguin. That's going to be Sandy being exploded. 3 brawlers remaining. Only a couple of walls between us and the ultimate victory. And let's just splash down with 1,700 damage on a single shot right there. And it's safe to say that little mini penguin is going to end up cleaning this up right here. The little mini penguins are seriously going to be so frustrating and waste so much ammo on your opponent. But guys, 4,000 damage on a double bomb combo right there. That's how you get it done. Mr. P putting in some work. So let's keep the good vibes going by getting into some heist. I feel like Mr. P, really with his super, is going to be unique inside of so many of these different modes. I mean, imagine Brawl Ball, where you constantly have little mini penguins that your opponent has to deal with. I feel like it's just going to be really strong. Like, his super doesn't seem so OP testing it out outside the developer build, but I feel like when we get into really good games, when you're playing with people who know what they're doing, it's going to be more and more annoying. And by the way, little mini penguin already putting in some work in right there. Splatting some combos right now. Look at this. I can shoot over the wall with my main attack using Mr. P. That's that star power putting in work, and that's why it's so ridiculously fun to play. Now, of course, I'm going to move my super up just to make sure we get a little bit more value so the penguins spawn a bit quicker right here. Looks like they're going to be on the loose and start doing some work against that Brock. You can even, like, you know, in games like League of Legends, what it's called split pushing, where you drop something that spawns like on one side of the map. I remember there used to be this thing. It was like a purple item in League of Legends where it would spawn these little critters that would constantly make their way down the lane. I feel like that thing with Mr. P and his penguin is legit going to be the same exact thing. We're constantly having these little mini penguins do work for you. They're going to slowly add up and be able to put in so much work throughout an entire match. Now, I'm going to continually just smash down onto the safe by smacking into that wall right there, just to show you guys the power of putting in some work. But it looks like this one's already looking pretty solid. Going to go ahead and spawn some more of our little critters right here. Double suitcase, briefcase, wombo combos. And why not try to shoot over the wall and do some work against this Brock? All right, 980 right there. One more combo should be enough to get it done right there with our little penguins. And so far, so good with 62% HP left on that turret / safe. All right, let's finish this one off strong. Maybe we can get to a full 100%, but Mr. P definitely not going to be a massive damage dealer for brawlers who know how to play against him. But if you can catch someone in a pickle, getting the double shots on the briefcase are going to provide to be really valuable for whenever you need them. Let's just continually smack away against this safe, doing about 3% per shot right there. And looks like we should be able to just drop in once more against this Brock. Double wombo combo. Bull, please do something. And yeah, that's going to be one more shot. Hopefully this will be enough right here. Literally dropping our turret right on top of the safe to make sure that we get no value. And that's going to be 6% left with an easy GG, well played. All right, not bad on heist, not bad on gem grab, not bad on showdown. Mr. P, pretty solid all around. So taking Mr. P for a spin inside of gem grab, let's check out the newest arcade map, which of course you guys will be seeing very soon inside of the game. Like I've mentioned, one of my favorite, absolute favorite maps and environments to ever be released inside of the game. Asia is one of my favorite places on Earth, and it's safe to say that this encompasses what they were inspired by pretty well. Let's move on though. We've got briefcase flying in here and there, and again, Mr. P's range is definitely one of his low-key biggest advantages. You wouldn't expect that a briefcase could be thrown this far inside of Brawl Stars, but fear not, you definitely can toss your briefcases extremely far, and with the fast projectile speed, becomes pretty difficult for opponents to deal with, especially when they have mini penguins to tend to literally every couple of seconds. All right, continually going ham against Gene. Looks like he's gonna get smacked down over and over and over again. Mini penguin of doom gonna chase him down and make sure he can't heal back up. And guys, I just have a feeling that Mr. P is gonna be so annoying annoying to deal with when he comes out live inside of the game. So far, I feel like in this preview hasn't shown to be a crazy big damage dealer, at least when it comes to that big burst, unless you connect both of your briefcase shots whenever it falls down. But overall, I feel like he's going to be a brawler to be reckoned with. Crow, of course, even running away from our penguiny madness. And let's just go ahead and clean up some more work right here. Big shot onto that Crow. I mean, look at the distance we're hitting these people from. It is really far away. And it looks like one more little shot right here. Almost enough to get that Gene down, but we're going to have to wait it out and drop one more big bomb right here. All right, so far so good. Let's make sure that we get a couple of these gems so we're not relying on a BB bot, which is maybe not the most reliable thing we've seen inside of Brawl Stars right here. Looks like we're gonna get 8 gems and finally be able to take matters into our own hands, guys. And yeah, Mr. P looking glorious. Agent Mr. P, of course, looking beautiful. And let's just go ahead and hop into the next match right now and show off the glorious basic skin and its complete and utter glory. So final match, hopping in with Mr. P. Let's lock and load and get it moving right here. Basic Mr. P skin. Honestly, he looks a lot smaller than the Agent Mr. P skin. I can't tell which one I honestly like better. I feel like the basic skin might actually win this battle right here. Let's go and pick up our first cube and then end up slapping this Nita right on her face. And as you start comboing these together, it just gets more and more annoying to deal with, especially with these little penguins trying to put in some work. All right, Bull's gonna do his thing right here. I feel like my briefcases are actually flying right now. Let's let our little penguins do something. Ooh, Terra Super is going to come in. That is not good. And let's just go ahead and slap her down and make sure we don't run into anything else. All right, woo, that actually got a little bit close right there. 4 brawlers left though. Solo showdown with bots tends to get pretty fast and furious. Big smackdowns being laid on this Carl right here, cleaning up just a couple more boxes. And of course, Band-Aid Shelly going to be the last of our opponents forever. And this should be a pretty easy dub. Oh, no fadeaway right there. But let's see if we can get her from a distance and make this one an easy win. This penguin has no mercy on the Shelly. GG, well played. That's how you get it done. Mr. P looking pretty solid for when it comes to Brawl Stars. Overall, I'm really loving Mr. P as an addition inside of Brawl Stars. I feel like his kit is super unique with the briefcases being tossed across the battlefield. I love his super, being able to shoot stuff over walls. I feel like he's a great addition where it can be pretty difficult to add new brawlers who bring something new to the game, but Mr. P gets an A rating from me, and I can't wait to see him go live. As far as the design goes, I think it's great. I think Agent Mr. P is pretty fun as well, so make sure you guys check Mr. P out as soon as he comes out inside of the game. And if you're not already using code PAT, make sure you use code PAT for whenever he drops. I didn't mention actually that Mr. P is a mythic brawler, so he's not a legendary. He isn't going to be impossible to find, but mythics do take a little bit of time to unlock, so make sure you have plenty of boxes for when the update goes live, so Mr. P ends up being slid under your Christmas tree and you can unwrap him immediately. That's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell for more sneak peeks coming out tomorrow. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace